Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high. Cause St. Louis isn't ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold up, we just saying hi. Five somebody, rise up. Weekdays, catch us live. Somebody, let's go.
Good morning. Good afternoon and good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Pascal Show. Hope you guys are all doing well out there. Hope this show finds you in good spirits and all of that stuff, as you guys rightfully deserve. Hopefully you guys had a wonderful, relaxing weekend. Okay, I missed you guys yesterday, but, Sunday should be the time to relax and be able to be around family, friends, etc. Doing the other extra stuff you need to do around the house that you didn't get a chance to do all week, that you keep saying that you're going to do, but you keep pushing it every single day, and then finally you get that Sunday to do it. Yeah, that's what Sunday's for. I'm not speaking like I haven't done that a million times before, right? Y'all feel me? Okay? But hopefully you guys are all doing well out there. Hope this show finds you in great spirits, as I've said. We got some things we got to talk about. Now, the thing is here it is. This is going to be kind of a more of an open discussion, and I'm going to give you guys a fair warning. I will most likely open up the phone lines later on in the show. Let me repeat that again. I will be maybe opening up the phone lines later on in the show. Not right now. Do not even bother calling right now. You will be hung up on, okay? But I may be opening up the phone lines a little bit later on in the show to hear your thoughts on this particular case, okay? Because I know a lot of you guys have your theories, a lot of you guys have your thoughts, etc. We're going to talk about it, okay? We got a lot to talk about with this case. I have a lot of questions. There's been a lot of questions out here in the internet streets. So I wanted to share those things and have this open conversation, this open discussion with you on this beautiful Monday morning. So do me a favor. Before we get things moving, hit that like button down below, please, and thank you. Crush it. Do what you need to do. Send it past 300 likes as you guys start to file in. Again, there's a lot of questions that keep on coming out, that keep on presenting themselves in this case. The timeline for a lot of people are saying the timeline ain't timelining. Okay, as I've said before. Yeah, some odd things. So please hit that like button down below. Hit that reaction button if you're watching on Facebook, please and thank you. Do not forget, hit that follow button if you're watching on Facebook. Go to my Facebook page, hit that follow button over there, please. If you're watching on YouTube, please be sure to crush that subscribe button over here as well. Okay, be great to have you part of the family on both platforms. Okay, of course, check out Patreon if you want to support. There's other ways to support by hitting that join button down below if you're watching on YouTube, and become a member of the family. And of course, check out PascalMerch.com. Okay. We got some really great stuff over there, all that stuff. Oh, and of course, GB just said, I finally got a notification. So make sure you hit that notification bell. Set it to all so you know whenever I go live, whenever I upload, because it is random. Okay? I wear many, many hats, guys. So I try to get on here as often and as much as I can and give you guys the conversations and the discussions and the news that you need for the day. Okay? So, all right, guys. We got all that stuff out the way. Yeah, make sure you ring that bell. All right? All right, guys. We got to get into this. And, of course, yes, it's great to see all y'all. Thank you guys so much for the love. Thank you guys so much for being here. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this conversation up is because I've noticed over the weekend, people are still talking about this particular case. And what I'm talking about, of course, we already know, if you guys are filing in, you already know the case of Madeline Soto, okay? I've heard Madeline, I've heard Madeline, I've heard so many different pronunciations of her name, even Stephen or Stephan's name as well, okay? So I'm just going to tread through this as best as I can, okay? But as far as Maddy's missing case, before it turned into an M case. Of course, it was the day after her birthday on a Monday, last Monday to be exact, where she was allegedly dropped off a few blocks away from her school And then she was never seen or heard from again. The person who dropped her off said, oh, she was embarrassed. She didn't want to be seen being dropped off in my car. So I dropped her off a few blocks away from the school. So whole day goes by, whole school day goes by. And allegedly the mother or, whoever, guardian, whoever's supposed to be getting an alert does not receive any type of notification letting them know that their daughter did not show up to school. Now, I don't know how the school system works in that particular area in Florida. I don't know how it works. A lot of places are very have a protocol in which if a kid does not show up to school, shows up absent, there's a notification of some sort. It may be a text message, an email, a phone call, whatever it may be. There is something that is made to let people know, oh, your son didn't show up, your daughter didn't show up to school. Please call us back to notify, to let us know if they're sick or something of that sort. And I feel like, and I will say this again, I really, really feel like that type of protocol should be in existence for every school throughout the entire globe, throughout the entire universe, because you never know if a kid is in dire straits. You never know if a kid tries to run off or if a kid has been taken. Liam Neeson's, real talk. Joke, no joke. This is serious, right? So what's interesting, and it's still a piece that I'm still a part of me that's reeling, okay? And don't worry, Monies, I think it's Monies. We're going to address that too. Okay. But the fact that there isn't some sort of procedure that allegedly that didn't happen is still beyond to me. It's still just so strange. Okay. So let's get back to it. Okay. Mama drives up to the school to pick up her daughter. School comes over, says, hey, she didn't show up to school at all. She ain't here. Of course, mama freaks out. Understandably, that's the reaction I feel like we all should have when our loved one doesn't show up to school, when our little pride and joy is supposed to be at school and they ain't there. It's like, what the hell's going on here, right? And then that's when and that's the thing, I'm hearing different reports, and this is the problem with information that keeps flying left and right. There are people saying that she made the phone call immediately after she found out that her daughter did not show up to school. And then there's other reports of saying that she called police hours later, about 4 hours later, after she found out that her daughter did not show up to school. So let's talk about that for a minute, because I know that it's, like I said, there's so many questions and so many things, so much speculation just running amok out here. And a lot of it is being looked at towards the mama, because we already got the bad guy. Okay. We already got, I call him pig vomit, but we got Stephan or Stephan Sterns, however you say his name. I don't really care if I mispronounce his name. Okay. But piece of trash. Okay. Dog water individual that has been locked up already. We got that guy. But there's a lot of people that are still going and hitting this woman up, the mama, and saying, nah, I don't trust, something ain't right here, so on and so forth. So we got to talk about that piece, because that's one piece that's still not connecting. Part one of this whole conversation. They're saying, oh yeah, she didn't call for several hours after she found out that her daughter was gone. Well, we gotta exercise some of the possibilities here, okay? And let me tell you this too. Let me just say this really quick. I am not here trying to defend anybody. I'm just here trying to ask the questions that need to be asked, okay? We need to talk, and we need to ask the proper questions. And we shouldn't automatically just jump on one side and say, oh, she's in on it too, if we don't know everything, right? So since we don't know everything, we should be able to look at things, sit on the fence and look at both sides of the spectrum, both thought processes that are going on, processes, I guess, that are going on both sides of this particular case. Because there are people out here that go, oh, she did something. She did something sinister with that monster of a boyfriend. And then there's other people that like, no, she just didn't know. And she was just ignorant to the fact, right? So let's sit in the middle. She finds out that the daughter did not show up, that beautiful little Maddy did not show up to school. Okay. She allegedly did not call 911 or call and make a missing persons report immediately after that. There are there are interviews where she is, and we will be taking a trip down memory lane on that interview that we just saw a couple days ago, which is still kind of sus. I will say that. But she says, as soon as I found out that she was missing, I called 911. But we're hearing otherwise. There are reports saying she didn't make phone calls or make a report until hours later. So let's talk about it, okay? There could be a possibility where she freaked out and she went to her popular favorite places that she goes to. Maybe she went, instead of just jumping the gun and assuming that she's been taken or missing of any sort, maybe she went to her, the local spots that she likes to hang out with, or friends' houses and stuff like that, knocking on those doors and just seeing if she's there and is there. Maybe she ran off in retaliation or it's teenage angst. You see what I'm saying? This is some way to protest about something that happened, so on and so forth, right? There's a good possibility of that. Very good possibility of that. And then again, there could be something more sinister if we jump on the other side of the situation. Could be something more sinister. Could be that she had her hand in her daughter missing, but she pulled up and acted out the part of a mother not knowing that her daughter didn't show up to school type of situation. You see what I'm saying? So there's that part, okay? And that's the part that I'm still trying to understand, and I'm still trying to wrap my mind around it too. And yes, if you look at it under a certain lens, it does look suspicious. But it could also mean that, hey, I'm not gonna freak out. I'm not going to do what everybody thinks I'm going to do, which is freak out. I'm going to just go to the spots that I know that she likes to go to. Maybe there's a local store she likes to go to. I don't know. Okay. Maybe she's at one of her best friend's homes. I'm going to go over there. I'm going to check things out first before I jump the gun and lose my freaking mind. I know what I would do. Okay. I know what I would do. All right. But not every parent would do. Not every parent operates the same way, right? So, moving on. And of course, CMD, yes, that affidavit is absolutely knuckin' futz, for lack of a better term. There's no other way to say it. It's disgusting, it's heartbreaking, it's knuckin' futz, okay? But moving on. So, we hear from them about this, she not going to school, her not showing up. Here's the other part that's a very odd thing. And maybe somebody can help me clarify a few things. In the interview, she says that, or not in the interview, reports are being said, which is a problem. Reports are being said that there were video footage, surveillance video showing her, because this is what they said in the report. From one of the reporters, they said it has been said that the mother said that they saw footage of her in the parking lot of a church playing before she went to school that morning. Remember that? We all listened to it as a family. We all listened to it, and I sat there going, wait a second. Make that make sense. Because later on they said, nope, that's not it. Okay. Like that's not it. The footage is too grainy. And also, let's not forget the press conference that police had when they finally revealed that Pig Vomit was the one who actually did this unthinkable thing to this just recently turned 13-year-old girl. They said that he discarded her laptop, her books, her book bag, etc. They saw in the back of the car or in the car that there was proof positive that this young girl was no longer with us while her body was in this car. That they never went to this church, that he never dropped her off over there. So again, math ain't mathin'. Timeline ain't timelining. You feel me? So then I look at that, I go, wait, that doesn't make any sense, y'all. Someone make that make sense, please. Unfortunately, within this whole freaking thing, I think we're going to be hearing a lot of timeline ain't timelining and the math ain't mathin'. And unfortunately, it could all just be innocent, nerves, etc., on the mother's part, but it's being looked at in a very, very bad way right now. We're all looking at this and going, hey, something just really ain't right with this situation. So they say, oh yeah, you know, we were there, we dropped her off at the place, the parking lot of this church. We. She said all those kinds of things. We. And then suddenly it went from we to okay, to no. It wasn't me that dropped her off. It was my partner, and which is weird because in the affidavit they call him stepfather. And then in other reports, we hear it's a boyfriend. And I'm sitting there going, what the fuck? Who is what and what is who? Is he a stepdaddy? Is he a boyfriend? Is he a side piece? We all know that he's a monster. But who is he really to this in relation to this relation to this family here? So she says that, or in the affidavit, it says stepfather. And of course, we've heard about those things, you know, that they found on the cell phone, which we will talk about in a little bit. We will most likely circle back around to this affidavit that I'm not going to read it out loud. Okay. I just won't. It's just too terrible, too graphic, but we will talk about that in a little bit. Okay. Now, of course, this is the mom with her daughter. This is Madeline, of course, and Jen. Okay. And of course, you know, let me just say this right off the bat. I can only imagine what the mom is going through right now. I can only imagine. Whether she's connected to this in some sort of way or not, I'm erring on the side of she didn't know a damn thing. And I can only imagine what she's going through right now. She's probably absolutely broken. Okay? But one thing I have to ask, you know, one thing I'm still wondering is this timeline. She says, we. She was out there. He dropped her off. We dropped her off. We did this. We did that. Then she changes her narrative in the interview and says, well, my partner was the one who did this, who dropped her off. Right. And then, of course, as she's doing this, that's when the boyfriend or the husband, pig vomit, okay, suddenly comes out of nowhere, sits down, drinking a Coca-Cola, it looks like, and vaping in the background, cracking his knuckles. Now, I keep wondering, what's up with that? You know, I am kind of curious as to why that's happening. Now, some people have their theories thinking that maybe she was nervous, that maybe she knows things that were going on, that something happened, that he had his hand in unaliving and discarding this young girl's remains, but she was terrified out of her mind, didn't know what to do, didn't know what the right thing to do was. Maybe he threatened her, saying, I will end you if you say anything to incriminate me or make me look like the suspect in this interview. And maybe that's why he sat there in the background, right? Because it's very odd. What would make anybody do that? You know for a fact she's about to get interviewed. Like, okay, can we just talk about this for a second? Actually, let me pull up the video itself Okay. Because I'm not going to play the video. Okay. Right now. I may look at some clips from this interview. Where the heck is it? There it is. Okay. I'm just showing, and this is not the greatest still. Okay. This is just a shot. All right. But look, can I just tell you something really quick? All right. In the world of normaldom, okay, in the land of normaldom, being normal, if you know that your wife, hubby, side piece, girlfriend, main squeeze, whoever it may be, is about to be interviewed by the news, and they're doing it via Skype type of situation, Zoom, Skype, whatever, video chat. And you know it. You know that there's an interview going on. And this is on something extremely important. Extremely important. This is about your girlfriend or your wife's child missing. This is a crucial interview. By the way, news doesn't automatically just grab every single missing person out here. Okay. Every missing person case out here. So the fact that it's like a needle in the haystack. So the fact that that this story got thrust into the national spotlight, this is a big ass deal. So Jennifer is getting an interview by news. You know for a fact this is only to get her to find Madeline. What would you do? In your right mind of minds, what would you do? Okay? What would you do? You instantly leave the premises. Go downstairs to your basement, to your den, go upstairs, read a book, watch a movie, whatever it may be. You go far away and you let her do her thing. Or even better, maybe you stay off and you sit off on the side, behind the camera, behind the computer, whatever she's using to be there for moral support. But no, this dude walks into the shot. He crosses like he doesn't even know. Like this is like one of those things. Remember back in the day when during the lockdown, when we were all locked up and there were those funny little videos where people were getting interviewed and maybe their boyfriend or their husband or something like that would just come out of the shower, of the bathroom, just with a robe on or nothing but the music on. You know what I'm saying? We've all seen those mistakes. Those are mistakes. This guy knew exactly what was going on. And he just walked into the shot, sat down within the shot, and started vaping and drinking whatever he was drinking, chilling in the cut, popping knuckles and stuff. Who does that? In the land of normaldom, who does that? Nobody. I'll answer that for you guys. Nobody does. So that's red flag 15,000. You know what I mean? Number 15,332. It just doesn't make any sense. Why would he sit here and do this? But then I'm like, okay, could it be that he's making his presence known with her and making sure she don't slip up and say anything? Maybe she does know something. But maybe she does know something, but she didn't know until after the fact. And maybe she's trapped in the situation. Maybe. But it doesn't automatically mean that she's the bad guy, right? So I'm quite curious. I am quite curious about that, because it just doesn't make sense that this right here does not make full sense to me. It just doesn't. Again, it's odd. But in the very beginning of this interview, we, right? We. And then she said, no, boyfriend or whatever, her partner. I'll just say partner from this point on. It's too confusing. But she says partner dropped her off. But then she said other things in this interview as well, saying basically like, hey, there's footage of her actually playing in the in the church parking lot. Now, here's the thing. Let me pull something up here. I just need to show Pig Vomit's face real quick because I need to make this abundantly clear. This mother lover diabolical. This is one of the worst kind of guys. This is a sheep. This is a wolf in sheep's clothing. This is a snake in the grass type of mother lover. This is the reason why I call him Pig Vomit, because he's trash. He's less than trash. And I'm going to say something that may not be a popular opinion. I think Mama I really do think that Mama was okay. I said it in another show before. I think she was digmatized. Pardon my French. Okay. But I think she was digmatized. And I don't mean that to be comedic. Sure, it is funny to say that out loud. But I think he swayed her by whatever charm he used, by whatever charisma he used, whatever it may be. He finessed this woman into believing whatever came out his mouth. So if he dropped her off at the church, and if he came to her and said, hey, apparently they have footage of her, they got footage catching her playing in the parking lot of the church. You know what? I feel like this woman was so finessed that she would believe him. I've said this before, and I'll say it again, and I've said it on other cases before. Never underestimate the power of denial. Denial's very strong. And of course, in their heads, you're going, nah, there's no freaking way my man would ever lift his finger, a finger on my daughter. Ain't no way he would be doing any of these unthinkable, disgusting, monstrous things to my daughter. No, this is a good man. He's a good man. Finessed. I truly believe she has been finessed. That's one of the possibilities here, guys. Now, I know some of y'all don't agree with me. Some of y'all want to lump her in this thing and all that and make it seem like, and I get it. That's totally fine. I sit on the fence and I go, I think she was finessed. And that ignorance, that denial, that belief that this man is everything, putting him up on a pedestal, that was his power over this situation. Now, again, this is just my theory, okay? This may be tinfoil hattish. It may not. Tiffany Haddish, tinfoil hattish. Anyway, it may be tinfoil hattish, okay? But at the same time, I don't know. It doesn't seem too far removed from the situation. Just my personal opinion, okay? Because I know there are people that are seriously going in, attacking the mom on social media right now. Family, friends, etc., people that know her are going in on her right now on social media. In fact, if I'm correct, she changed her social media name because of the amount of backlash she's receiving in this situation. And it's literally all because of these interviews that she was doing where she was sitting here saying, we. Seriously, everybody out here is going, well, why is she saying we? Why is she saying we? I really think this woman was smitten by this man, finessed by this man, and believed what her man said. Like I said, I really, truly believe she was digmatized. And I'm telling you right now, we've heard many, many stories like this before. We've heard many stories like this before. And it also is not just men. Women do the same thing to men too. Okay, this is not just I'm not trying to bash any women or anything like that. Ladies, I love you. Okay, ladies, I freaking love you. Okay, real talk. You guys are amazing. That's what I was trying to make, that sound effect. Okay, but at the same time, though, this is a situation where maybe it's on paper, he's been a freaking Boy Scout in her eyes. This is the kind of man that she needs. So on and so forth. He's paying the bills. If that is the case, that's another conversation I need to ask about here in a second. He taking care of things. He's holding it down. He's being the man of the house. That traditional stuff. Okay. All right. I know not everybody lives that traditional lifestyle. Okay. And I'm not trying to knock anybody who lives a different alternate type of situation. That's fine. Live your life. Do you, boo boo. But at the same time, there's a lot of women out here that are looking for that man that's going to hold it down, that's going to make that money, that's going to pay those bills, that's going to F them like they missed them every time they get into the bed. Okay. I'm being serious. Dead ass. And as soon as you get that, suddenly, if at least those things that are checked off those boxes that are checked off the list, as soon as those things exist, as soon as that guy presents those things, he can do no wrong. He can do no wrong. So then you see something like this, you see a woman like this, she's sitting there going, wee. I feel like this is someone who has been programmed, finessed, played with, manipulated. And I wouldn't be surprised if he was doing the same doggone thing to Madeline as well. So let's talk about this here. And I know it sounds funny. It might be a chuckle to some of y'all and all that, but at the same time, this is a tale as old as time. It's such an old story. Only thing is that this one has a very messed up ending. Much more sinister. Some of these guys that are out here, and women too, that have finessed a person, they walk away with oodles and oodles of money. We've all seen it. We've all heard those stories. Okay. It wasn't the Tinder swindler story, right? He's showing off that he's checking off all the boxes, at least aesthetically, right? He looks the part. He's sitting in private jets. He's drinking champagne, nothing but stemware around this dude, right? Always wearing designer clothing, Gucci, Prada, Hermes, or whatever hell you say that stuff, Balenciaga. And you're like, oh my gosh, and he's got a six-pack, and he got money. Oh my gosh. Plenty of women have been finessed in that way. Same thing with dudes. She got a couple curves. She looks good. She got the war paint on, all on point. She checks all the boxes that I need physically. And then dudes will go, I will sacrifice my whole payroll for this woman. And then guess what? They run off with your money, right? Except this one here is much more sinister and much more traumatic and a bigger tragedy than someone just losing their money. There may have been a situation where he was really hell-bent and focused on getting to the daughter and not to her. She just happened to be there. In a weird, messed up way, this was a P-words version of a beard. Hear me out. On the surface, he's with her, but he's really trying to get with her. You see what I'm saying? But at the surface, no one will notice that. They just see him being a good man and a good partner to the mama. But really, his sights are set on little girl. Let me pull that photo back up. Notice how they look fairly alike. They look a lot alike. Let's keep it a buck. I heard an interview. I don't remember where it was. I think it was Duty Ron. I think he had a phone. maybe he was having a phone call. I remember. It's been a couple days, guys. So just rock with me. But there was an interview with one of the ex-friends of Stephan, Pig Vomit. Okay. And in this whole thing, he said they were saying things like he was having relationships with people that were not supposed to be having relationships with a grown-ass man, if he gets what I'm saying. And he was doing this out in public, in front of people. People were seeing this stuff. Real talk. They were seeing this stuff. And of course, they're like, yo, bro, this is wrong, man. That's gross. That's messed up. Blah, blah, blah. Gary Hughes, Callie Dime, thank you. I want to give credit where credit is due. I'm sorry. I thought it was Duty Ron. I'm so sorry. So Gary Hughes, okay? Shout out to Gary Hughes, okay? Whoops. All right, let me just keep that up there. But in that interview, they were saying some really crazy things, okay? Aylin, thank you so much. Yes, Gary Hughes. I see it. Thank you, guys. Thank you. But he said all this kind of stuff, and it's like, whoa. That's insane, right? That's absolutely insane. That he's sitting here saying, the friend is sitting here saying, this dude was doing this stuff out in plain sight. So again, I look at this and I'm like, oh, he saw something. He saw something very disturbing. And he said, I'm going to finesse the mama. I'm going to love that mama so hard. She will bend at my will. She won't even realize that I'm actually a monster. She'll think I could do no wrong. In fact, that's why we saw it in those interviews. We. So I think she was finessed. I think she's also a victim to this absolutely devastating tragedy. That's what I believe. I think she was finessed by this dude. And I've had a couple days to think about it. We were talking about that Amish tragedy, that mystery, right? That was quickly solved. The guy has been locked up, another monster. Okay, looks like he grunts when he brushes his teeth. Remember? All right, we had that whole conversation. We broke it all the way down. But during those few days, or during that day, actually, I had some time to really think about it because I watched that interview, which we're going to rewatch again here in a second. Or at least her part. I don't need to see pig vomit. Okay, we already saw that. That was absolute trash. Okay, but in her interview, there's a lot of people that are just ripping it apart, ripping it to shreds. Yes, I understand. There's no tears. The one with the one that has pig vomit coming in and talking. That's the interview I'm talking about. Okay. She keeps saying we in the very beginning and all that. And everyone's going, but why are you saying we? And then they're going into her social media accounts and ripping her a new butthole. Why? I'm still wondering why. If police really thought that she was connected in this situation, she would have been locked up too. Trust and believe. This woman would have been locked up with the quickness, but she's not. That should tell us something, y'all. That should most definitely tell us something. And I get the pushback. I mean, I get the frustration. But at the same time, if she's connected, then police will sit here and say there's a connection. But until then, I hold on to, you know what? Let police do their thing. And everyone stop attacking this woman because she could very well be 110% a victim in this situation. I think it's unfair that people are going in. And I think that's the reason why she changed her social media name to something else, because she was tired of people going after her. And also, you got to remember, this mom right now is still grieving and finding out that her daughter is gone. And the man that she loved is an absolute terror of a human being. Imagine that. Imagine what she's going through in her mind right now. That's a lot to go through mentally, yo. That's a lot, son. That's a lot. Okay? And if we don't have proof, if we don't have any evidence of her doing any wrongdoing to her daughter, why are we attacking her like this on the social media? Everyone needs to tranquilo. Seriously, everyone needs to relax. Let 5-0 do their thing, because I guarantee you this investigation is still ongoing. I guarantee you that. All right. One random left turn, but yeah. Good job. You got my reference. Good job. Great job. Okay. Yeah. Pig vomit is a reference to Howard Stern's movie. Yes. Good job. Good job. So back into this. Okay. I want to take a look at her interview one more time. Just a little bit. We're not going to watch the whole doggone thing. Okay. The one that has pig vomit actually talking as well. Okay. We're not looking at her his interview. Okay. But we are going to take a little bit.
So the first question is if I can have your first elaborate.
We are going to take a little bit of a look into this interview. And the thing is for me, I know everybody's like analyzing this and all that. And, you know, I am not a behavioral expert or whatever their names are. No disrespect to those guys who have fantastic YouTube channels and all that. But at the same time, I'm not I don't read body language like an expert. I don't have some doctorate degree in anything of that sort. Okay. But I really do think that she's very concerned in this video. And I think she's saying we because she's been building this relationship and building this world, okay, with him. Again, you know, I get it. Some of you guys are like, you know, stop calling her a victim. I think she is. I think she really is a victim here. I think she's a victim of his manipulation, of his brooming of her as well. You know, I got to use these code words, but I really do think she's a victim too. And again, until police come out and say something different, I'm going to lean on that. I think he finessed and he used her because he wanted to get to her. He wanted to get to little Maddy. He really wanted to get to her. I think what really got him going was the fact that she was a mother to a daughter, and a young daughter at that. And I think that's what got him going. And then, of course, he slowly just started to sink his talons, his demonic little talons, into the mom's brain and into her psyche to the point where she's going, he would never do anything like that. What he said is exactly what he said. Because my man would never do that. We have built this city on rock and roll. I don't know. To me, it feels like she's been manipulated as well. But let's take a look at this, okay? I get it. Y'all are totally entitled to to agree or disagree with me. It's okay. That's why this show, that's why I love y'all so much, because we can agree to disagree and have a smile on our faces and still have love for each other, okay? But at the same time, I really feel like she's a victim. And until I hear anything otherwise from police, I'm going to sit on that with that. And I will say this too. We don't know anything as far as what the relationship was like with Pig Vomit and Madeline. We don't know anything about that yet. We really don't. We don't. But we'll see. Let's continue. Let's take a look at this video. Like I said, I'm only going to play a little bit, okay?
Wreck. My entire family is a mess. We're just so worried.
When did you first realize, or when did you file a missing report?
We filed a missing report. We called the police at like 4:45 yesterday, 4:45 p.m.
Called the police at 4:45 p.m. This is what she says here, but there are other police. There are other reports saying she didn't do that until several hours later. And I'm still going like, what the hell is what is the truth here, y'all? What is the truth here?
But she actually went missing early that morning, around between 8:45 and 9 o'clock in the morning, she went missing. We had dropped her off close to the school. She wanted to walk the rest of the way.
And what I just realized as well, because I know a lot of people are wondering what's up, right? What's up with this? Okay. But I think I think that's a dog bowl, like a food refiller type thingy. I don't know what it is, but I think it makes noise every time it feeds the dog or something. I don't. What you hear, it sounds like dog food. Okay, falling into a bowl. That's what it sounds like to me. But I don't know. I don't know. Just seems a bit odd.
Sorry.
It's a parrot. It's a bird. So was I right earlier? What? Like what? So it's a bird? It's a cockatoo or something? A parakeet? Okay. I mean, we talked about this before, but I'm still just like, what? And the thing is, yeah, I really do think that. I mean, yes, she's chuckling at this part and all that. I don't know. To me, it's like, I don't know. There's a little disconnect. There is definitely some disconnect in this. But God only knows. Okay. Let's continue. I'm gonna jump it up.
Share. I'm not sure what I'm allowed to share.
You share whatever you feel comfortable sharing. I know you had conversations with detectives. Not sure what that conversation is, but whichever you feel comfortable sharing, that we'll put the awareness out there.
That's wild.
She was spotted walking by the church, by the middle school, on the cameras. They saw her hang out in the parking lot for a little bit and then get up and leave. They didn't see a vehicle or anything else. They just saw her walk away around 9 a.m. heading towards the school, but she never made it.
What has the school said? Have you given in contact with the school?
Yes, that they're doing everything they can. They've given me all their resources. The principal's called me. They've looked at their cameras. I don't think they've caught anything. The cameras is too far away from the sidewalk. Everything is too grainy, so they can't see specific faces. But they've looked. I'm just waiting to hear anything else from them.
Is this normal behavior?
Not at all.
To just not show up or call or text or anything?
Not at all, no. She, from time to time, she will leave her cell phone at home accidentally, and that's actually what happened yesterday. She left her phone at home. She went to school. But that happens from time to time. She's got ADHD, her memory. She's very forgetful. So yeah, there's no way to track her right now because the detectives don't have her phone.
Okay. I'm gonna play a tiny bit more, but I got a couple super chats that I want to grab. One of them just grabbed my attention, so I'm gonna get to those really quick. But Leo, thank you so much for being a member for the past 7 months. Justice for all innocent children. Protect our children. Yes. Hashtag protect our children for sure. Thank you, Leo, so much for your support. Miss Liz, thank you so much for the $6 super sticker. I really do appreciate all the support. Seriously, it really does mean a lot. Jay Kells, this is what grabbed my attention. Thank you so much for the 5. He's pushing that dog feeder as soon as she says something incorrect because she said we, and he pushed it to distract her from saying it. Interesting. If that was a choreographed like signal for her to be like, be on your ish, then why would he have a problem with her saying we? Because we is better than her saying he dropped her off, right? If he says we, that's better than that, right? But like I said, I that's interesting. I'm gonna, let me roll that back. Let's play. Whoops. Let's play a little bit of some playback. Okay, hold on. I think it's right about here.
5 p.m. But we filed a missing report. We called the police at like 4:45.
Notice she keeps saying we. So I'm wondering why, if we was a problem, wouldn't he have hit the dog feeder thing or whatever the hell that is? If it was a dog feeder thing, wouldn't it? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't know if I entirely agree with that, but again, it's a theory nonetheless.
Yesterday, 4:45 p.m. But she actually went missing early that morning, around between 8:45 and 9 o'clock in the morning. She went missing. We had dropped her off close to the school. She wanted to walk the rest of the way. Sorry.
So everything she said so far doesn't sound off. You see what I'm saying? So if it was a thing to try to get her to like, shut up, you got it wrong. You know what I mean? Don't say my name, or, don't add me into it. She's been saying we for a while. So you see what I'm saying? So interesting. Now, I know some of you guys are saying it's a parrot. Some of you guys are saying it's a dog feeder. I don't know what the hell it is. Okay. All I know is something weird is going on in the background, and she's smirking about it because it is very odd. It is odd, and kind of embarrassing, especially when you're trying to get news. It's a very serious conversation, and then all of a sudden this conversation comes out. You know what I mean? It just doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean? But let us continue here. I got a super chat. April, thank you so much for the 5. The affidavit says that she filed the missing person report at 8 p.m. See, thank you. 8 p.m. See what I'm saying? Which had me confused as well, since she says it was at 4:40. Man, thank you. Okay, thank you. That don't make no sense. That's why I'm saying the timeline ain't timelining. And see, this is the reason why I can understand why people are out here going, what's up with homegirl here? What's up with this interview and the other interview? That don't make no sense. Again, thank you so much for the support. I really do appreciate the super chats. But yes, that don't make no sense. Okay? That's weird. Don't you think? That's a little odd. 4:45 is what she said, and this is right off the bat. But then the affidavit says something different. In fact, let me just pull up that doggone, not the other part, but the affidavit of what we have. Okay? Let's take a look at this again. It just doesn't make sense. Let's see. Approximately, 8 p.m.? She was reported missing by her mother. 2,000 hours, 2,000 hours, or whatever the hell the Army talk do. Ain't that 8 p.m.? Ain't it though? So that's the reason why I go, let me zoom it in just so you guys can all see that in the nosebleed seats. Look at that right here on February 26th, approximately at 2,000 hours, or however they say it. All right. Such and such Maddy was reported missing by her mama. Again. Questiones. I have many. So that doesn't make any sense to me. Okay. All right. That doesn't make any sense. And that's why I think a lot of people are going into her social media and going in on her and trying to like just rip her a new bunghole. Okay. Because of the timeline and the math is just not mathing. It's just not. Okay. And I'm still curious about it as well. Okay. But do I think that she has a hand in the unaliving of her own daughter? I don't think so. I don't. I think that maybe she's trying to cover for him. That could be it, because of out of fear or something of that sort. I don't know. Okay. But something's just not, the timeline ain't timelining. Okay. Which makes it seem odd. Now, does she have a hand in the unaliving of her daughter? I don't know. But I err on the side of, it seems like she doesn't know. But it could be a lot of different things. Stormy Cherry just said she's in denial. Yeah, she could very well be in denial. Like I said, never underestimate the power of denial. That is, it's a mother lover out here in these streets, especially when you've been digmatized by a piece of trash like pig vomit. Let's be real. Okay? But still, no matter what, like Kay just said, yes, I agree. Her timeline is off. The timeline ain't timelining. Okay? It's just not. Do me a favor, guys, real quick. Okay? Please and thank you. Hit that like button down below. Let's get it past 1K. It takes 2 seconds to hit that like button. Okay? Please, it helps with the show, helps the show grow, helps get the story out here, helps get other people who are interested in thinking about this and talking about this and trying to figure this thing out. Please hit that like button. Let's get it past 1K. I'd love to see 1K underneath this video before the show is over, okay? A like don't cost a thing. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Crush that subscribe button, please. You know your boy's working hard out here in these streets, okay? And it's just me talking to you and you listening to me talk. So please, if you appreciate that, hit that subscribe button, man, and hit that follow button if you're watching on Facebook. Follow me on my social medias, please. That'd be greatly appreciated. The Pascal Show, one word. I got a TikTok. I got IG. Okay, well, take your pick, bro. I got it all, okay? So please go over there, follow, show some love. Let me get these super chats here really quick. I have questions. See, I have questions too. We got something in common. Thank you so much for the 2. She called at 4:45. The cops wanted to wait. So if she called at 4:45 and the cops wanted to wait, why wouldn't it just be right here in the report, in the affidavit? When they say, like, we decided to, hold on the thing by doing such and such, so that, she really did call at 4:45, not at, you see what I'm saying? So it would have been 1645 hours or whatever the hell's called. Wouldn't it be like that? See what I'm saying? Like I said, the math ain't mathing to me, and it's just very, 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 very odd. Okay, but. Let me get back into this. S Dubs, thank you so much for the 5. The mom stated in a report that she called them, but they did not come after 8 p.m. and take the report. She went out looking before calling 5-0. So, okay, so the mom stated in a report that she called them, but they did not come until 8 p.m. Okay, to take the report. So then maybe that's why the timeline is very odd. But it seems odd though. But that same, like, if you're see, that's the thing. What's up with 5-0 then? Why would 5-0 suddenly say, oh yeah, we gonna wait? Oh, you got a daughter? Oh, and she's missing? All right, yeah, we'll be right there in about 4 hours. Okay, give us about 3 hours and 15 minutes. We'll be right over there. But we got other things to do. But if you got a girl, a little daughter who's in dire straits that's just missing right now, she can wait. We'll be right there. All right. That doesn't make any sense, guys. That doesn't. Why would 5-0 just linger? Why would they drag their feet on that? That doesn't make any sense, guys. It doesn't. Like I said, timeline is not timelining to me, but let's continue. And I appreciate the corrections or, some of the information. Okay. But I feel like they should say in the affidavit, she called at 4:45. They showed up at, and we didn't report it until 8 p.m. But of course, we know how 5-0 can work out here in these streets. Some police are clean as a whistle, and some are just weird. So if that was the case, that's kind of dirty in my personal opinion. I'm going to keep it a buck. That's dirty. All right. But let's continue. I'm going to skip this.
I'm not sure what I'm allowed to share.
You share whatever you feel comfortable sharing. I know you had conversations with detectives. Not sure what that conversation is, but whichever you feel comfortable sharing, that will put the awareness out there.
Yeah, she was spotted walking by the church, by the middle school on the cameras. They saw her hang out in the parking lot for a little bit and then get up and leave.
Let me roll that back. That's important.
By
sharing that.
One more
put the
again.
Awareness out there.
Yeah, she was spotted walking by the church, by the middle school on the cameras. They saw her hang out in the parking lot for a little bit and then get up and leave.
So then my question is, where the hell did she get this info? Where the hell did she get this info that she was out there playing? I think I know where she got that info from. Pig vomit. That's the only other place I can think of that she could have gotten that information, unless there were kids playing in this parking lot area of this church, and 50 told them, we see kids playing in this parking lot, but they may have not confirmed if she was in there. She may just assume, she may just lump her into the group of kids that were seen in that video, but at the same time, like, where is the proof? You see what I'm saying? Even 50 later on said, nah, she's not in that video. It's too grainy to see anything. So you could have seen a little, like, you could have seen a garbage bag floating in the wind, and you could have been like, oh, that's a kid. You see what I'm saying? Is that bad? So that doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't. But then in my mind, I keep thinking that she was maybe leaning very hard on hubby or pig vomit, her partner, with this information. You see what I'm saying? One thing I also saw in the back of my head, or not in the back of my head, one thing I saw in the chat in the back of my head. The hell's wrong with me? Infamous truth teller. Yes, exactly. The first 48 hours is the most critical and crucial time to, for anybody that's missing, especially the youngins. So I don't know why. And yes, exactly. You know, huge thing, huge red flag in my personal opinion. If you got people out here saying, hey, my kid's missing, and 50 just says, yeah, we'll get to you. What? I'm suing instantly. Whether she's found alive or gone, I'm still suing. I'll be like, why are you neglecting my phone call for help? What's more important suddenly? There's a child missing out here in these streets, and you're literally going, yeah, we'll get to you. Yeah, we'll get to you. That doesn't make sense. So either she went out looking for her on her own, then called cops around 8, or that's literally what happened. She called at 4:45, and police said, yeah, we'll get to you. But that doesn't make sense. See what I'm saying? Oh, it's so frustrating. Oh, I just don't know what's true and what's not, what's up, what's down. It's frustrating, y'all. It don't make no damn sense. Okay? Ay. Rachel, thank you so much for the 5. As a missing persons advocate, this is common practice among law enforcement. It's more common for them to not even take a report for after 24 hours. Now, I understand that part. Like, we were covering the Imani case, right? Family was calling police, and they said, well, you know, you're going to have to wait 24 hours, which is weird because even in that one, she called after 24 hours, and they said, oh, you got to wait another 24 hours. And I'm like, that makes no sense at all, right? But even in this situation, it's still very odd. I don't know. It's still very, very odd. It's still odd. I don't know. And I feel like that standard procedure, that procedure should not be standard, in my personal opinion. I think it's it's been a remedy for disaster. The first, as infamous truth teller said earlier, the first 48 hours, are crucial. I agree. So if you're telling the family to not call for 24 or even 48 hours, then What's the point of saying the first 48 hours are crucial? It's a bold-faced lie. If you're telling, I'll just get to it. We'll get to it in 48 hours. Call us in 48 hours. You know what I mean? It just, like I said, it just makes no sense. And like I said, the timeline ain't timelining. Could this be her trying to cover for him because she is just so deeply manipulated? I feel like that's the case here. But like I said, never underestimate the power of being digmatized. I'm telling you right now, never underestimate it. And I was in the digmatized covers both men and women, because men do it to women and women do it to men. Trust and believe. We see it countless times over and over again. Okay, I'm not trying to get on, we ain't trying to get into the spheres of places or anything, but let's keep it real. There are people out here that will manipulate for their own financial gain or for whatever, right? And I feel like this is the same situation. She has been finessed. That's what I think. Finessed hard.
They didn't see a vehicle or anything else. They just saw her walk away around 9 a.m. heading towards the school, but she never made it. Yeah.
What has the school said? Have you given in contact with the school?
Yes, that they're doing everything they can. They've given me all their resources. The principals called me. They've looked at their cameras. I don't think they've caught anything. The cameras is too far away from the sidewalk.
Too far away, too grainy. Moving on. I'm sorry.
Because I was working, but she had an amazing time. She was so happy with all her gifts.
Okay, so this is the part that I'm curious about here too. Okay, her birthday. I've been hearing different stories about her birthday. I guess she had a birthday party. And I want to pull something up so I don't, I want to get this thing right here. Okay. But apparently it's being said that the mom didn't go to Maddy's 13th birthday party. So, okay. Because I'm getting this from another source, and I do appreciate, them for giving me this bit of information. And I don't know if this is the part that I'm curious if it's true or not. Okay. So definitely let me know. I'd love to hear this piece, but I'm hearing, so there's a couple things. Let me get into this. Okay. Mom didn't go to her 13th birthday party, but said she saw her when she got home and they talked, but she didn't use her phone or computer, just got ready for bed and went straight to bed. Then, so that's the part that I'm interested in. Did mama not show up or not? Why was the mama not there at her 13th birthday party, if that's the truth? Then, of course, they say, okay, then, of course, I said earlier, in which we have all caught, and we're all scratching our heads over. Mom said in the first interview that she called 911 at 4:45 p.m. That's a lie, because she didn't call until 8 p.m. So that's another part that I'm still trying to understand as well. Like I said, I'm scratching my head on this because I'm like, wait a second, that doesn't make any sense. Okay. And I feel like we all are doing the same thing, right? Then another one. Mom said in one interview that she always had her nose in her phone constantly, but then she says she often forgot her phone at home because she has ADHD. Now, good point. One interview, she says she's always in her phone. And then in this interview here, she's like, oh, yeah, or maybe it's this interview. I don't remember. It's either this one or the one where he's in the background lurking, vaping and lurking, right? But she does say, oh, she has ADHD. She forgets about things. She can be forgetful because of her ADHD. She would forget her phone. Now, I'm going to say this really quick. Never in my history of life have I ever heard or seen a kid ever forget their phone. I mean, it's very rare. Sure, you might lose, you might forget where you put your phone because you're in a tizzy. You're running around. You're doing certain things. You might go, where did I put my phone? Where did it go? You know what I'm saying? Sometimes that happens, but at the same time, a lot of times that kid or us, even as adults, that's a fifth limb. That's another eye. You know what I'm saying? It's so crucial for us to have that phone with us at all times. You ever have your phone die on you? You ever have your phone break on you? It feels like you're naked. Okay? And especially if you're 13 years old. Everything, your life is on that phone. So for her to not have her phone, it just seems odd, right? It seems odd. But the thing is she says, this is the part that I got to point out. And let me just say this too. Shout out to Sleuthy Goosey. Okay. I'm just going to say it. Okay. Because she pointed these things out, sent this to me. And I was like, yeah, these are solid. And I'm still kind of curious about the first thing she sent. Is it true that Mama was not at her 13th birthday party? But then that's still a bit odd because it's on a Sunday. And from my understanding, Mama works for Disney, but Mama works in like office corporate stuff. So why, if she was working, why would she be working on a Sunday? It just seems a bit odd, right? If her birthday party was the night or the day of her birthday, because her birthday was Sunday, her birthday would be Saturday. Her birthday party would probably be spent on Friday evening, Saturday, or maybe even Sunday afternoon on her actual birthday, right? So why wouldn't she be there? That's one piece that doesn't make sense to me either. She is going from kid to teenager. That's huge. That's a huge, big milestone for a lot of kids. Okay, I'm no longer a kid anymore. I'm now going into adulthood. I'm a teenager now, right? I'm not preteen no more. So that doesn't make any sense. That's a weird piece. But then the other part that seems a bit odd, okay, says she saw her when she got home. And then they talked, but she didn't use her phone or the computer. She just got ready for bed and went straight to bed. What the hell's that all about? Another piece that I'm curious about. Did something happen between Pig Vomit and little Maddy that Mama didn't know about? She wasn't at the birthday party, allegedly. Why wasn't she at the birthday party? If she wasn't at the birthday party, and that's true, did something happen during the party, after the party, with Pig Vomit? I'm curious. And maybe that's the reason why she didn't pick up her phone, go on her computer. She just got ready for bed and went straight to bed. Why would she do that? To me, that's kind of a bit odd, unless she's so exhausted because of the festivities of partying and having a good time and being a teenager now. That could be a possibility. But at the same time, to me, it seems like something may have gone down. Something sinister may have gone down between Maddy and Pig Vomit. Now, that's just theory, but that's just a question I have to ask, right? And of course, talking about the phone, oh, she's forgetful because of her ADHD, so she has a tendency to leave her phone behind, blah, blah, blah. I can see those things happening every once in a while because we're all human. We are forgetful. We're human beings. That has nothing to do with ADHD. Nothing to do with that. That is just somebody forgetting to grab their phone because they're running out the door, right? She's 12 at that time. Remember, she just turned 13. So maybe she doesn't have the habit of grabbing her phone all the time. I don't know. But like I said, it's just seems odd. And yeah, timeline ain't timelining, okay? There's another piece too. Mom had police meet her at the school at 8 p.m. to take the report, not the house. That's a little bit odd as well. That's a little bit odd. If that is true, then that is very, very odd. Okay. Let me show you guys. Yes, let me show you guys this. And I'm going to show it because it's right here. We're right in that area anyway, which is interesting. And she talks about ADHD and forgetting her phone. Let's take a look at that.
Is this normal behavior?
Not at all.
To just not show up or call or text or anything?
Not at all, no. From time to time, she will leave her cell phone at home accidentally, and that's actually what happened yesterday. She left her phone at home. She went to school. But that happens from time to time. She's got ADHD. Her memory, she's very forgetful. So yeah, there's no way to track her right now because the detectives don't have her phone.
So interesting, right? She has a tendency from time to time to leave her phone behind. Yeah, she's 13 years old. I don't think it has anything to do with ADHD. She's 13 years old. Maybe it's a thing if she's literally running, right? Running out the door because she's late for school, something like that. Oh my God, I'm late. You know what I mean? And she forgets her phone. Those things happen. It's totally fine. Okay? That happens. Even to the best of us, even to us adults who literally live on our phones for the most part, you know? Those things do happen. Those mistakes do actually happen. Okay. So that's very interesting. Okay. This is interesting. There's more. Apparently, around this part is when she talks about how she wasn't at the birthday party. What? Okay. This is weird, but let's take a look.
We spoke about her birthday party. She had a birthday party on Sunday. She had a great time. I couldn't make it because I was working.
You heard that, right? What? Okay, so hold on. So she, okay, and maybe the job that she does at Disney World or Disney is a weekend job. I don't know. That's just, it's very interesting. Well, there's a possibility because if you really think about it, Disney, you know, as far as families coming in and doing stuff at Disney, that's a very weekend heavy type of facility, right? It's an amusement park. Their peak hours, their peak time is the weekends, right? These kids are coming in and they're being a part of the most wonderful place on earth every weekend. Parents are dropping hundreds, if not thousands of dollars, by the way, to have their kids have a smile on their face, inject them with a whole bunch of sugar, okay? Go on rides, get close to puking their guts out, and give them a Mickey Mouse hat, right? Trust me, those prices at Disney are freaking ridiculous, okay? Redunculous. But if you notice here, she says that she wasn't even at her birthday party because she had to work. Auntie just said, thank you, Auntie. Ree just said, Mom is a vacation planner. The weekend is the thing they plan for. Math equal not mathin'. Now, one thing, yeah, that's the thing. You see what I'm saying? So it seems a bit odd, but at the same time, she could be there for troubleshooting issues, etc. Maybe some families are trying to get into town, or she could be there to make sure that things are being accommodated, that certain all-inclusive tickets, blah, 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 that are supposed to be used are being used properly, blah, and all that. So there is a possibility of that. You see what I'm saying? There is a possibility. But still, no matter what, it seems odd that she wouldn't sit there and go, I need today off because this is one of the biggest moments of my daughter's life. Shoot, every birthday is the biggest moment of your daughter's life. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's I can't make it. I got to work. What? I'm saying, sorry, I need this day off. Okay? And yes, good grandma. Yes, it is a stressful job. If you really think about it, you're almost like you got to make sure that your guests are being accommodated for. You see what I'm saying? That they are having the best time of their lives. And imagine the thousands of people that are coming in. And again, like I said, I don't know exactly what her job entails, but I would assume that the weekend is prime time. That's when it's the busiest. And she has to take care of that. So, but it's still weird that she wouldn't be there for her daughter's 13th birthday. Oh, but pig vomit's there. I guarantee you. Okay. Let me get these super chats really quick. April, thank you so much for the 2. She didn't go because she had to work and sleep. Yep. That's what we're hearing from her right now, right? Then, of course, thank you so much to Miracle Mama. Hey, thank you for being the highest in the room. Thank you so much for the 20. I really do appreciate it. It says, wonder what his temper has been like. Wonder what his temper has been like. She seems hyper scared. The horror could be dawning on her in real time. Pig Vomit's presence is ominous, in background. Poor pigs don't even vomit. Don't even vomit. That's gross. Yes, I will say this. If he is in the background and he's looming in the background and making her life a living hell in real time, I don't know. My assumption is that she just did not know. And this guy is a monster and a snake, and he was just hiding in plain sight. And he was just using this mom and using her to get to her daughter. It's sad and messed up. Wendy, thank you so much for the 2. But why plan it on the day you're working? See, that's the thing too. I'm wondering as well. It's like, if you knew that her 13th birthday is coming up, why wouldn't you celebrate the birthday with her? Plan that day off. Take a personal day off. Shoot, even if you had to, call in sick, whatever, right? And be there. It just, like I said before, math is just not mathing, okay? Yes. So she says, you hear it in that interview, in the first initial interview, that she did not show up to the party because she had to work. And I'm wondering why, right? Now, it could be something as small, as little as her having to work, or it could be something bigger. I don't know. Okay. Got another piece I want to share with you guys. All right. Okay. And, again, shout out to Sleuthy Goosey for the information, for the timestamps. I appreciate the help. Seriously, I really, really do. But there's another piece here. Police say that they got a call at 8 p.m. and met Madeline's mom at the school. And this is from the press conference. So I wanted to share this with you guys as well. Again, timeline ain't timelining. Okay. It's very odd. Very odd. Okay. So let's take a look at that piece as well. Oops. 1 second. Okay. It's right about here.
And so we also learned that Madeline left her phone at home that day. So we were called on Monday evening at approximately 8 p.m. Our patrol deputies went out there, met with Madeline's mom at the school near Hunters Creek to take a report on her missing daughter. So we started the investigation that night, started canvassing the area, looking for any witnesses or surveillance video.
Don't worry, I'm going to play that again for all y'all in the nosebleed seats. One more again. You heard what he said. He said what he said. But I'm going to repeat it again so you guys can hear that. He said, what?
And so we also learned that Madeline left her phone at home that day.
Right.
So we were called on Monday evening.
Monday evening.
At approximately 8 p.m.
8 p.m.
Our patrol deputies went out there, met with Madeline's mom at the school.
Met with Madeline's mom at the school at 8 p.m. on the same day that she went missing. But she went missing 12 hours before this, though. Around 12 hours, you know what I mean? Give or take a few minutes, okay? Interesting, though.
Near Hunters Creek to take a report on her missing daughter.
Okay. So, again, another question that leans towards the side of why would the mama meet up with police over there instead of meeting up at the home? That's a question that makes no sense either. Now, is it because she's scared and this man has a grasp on her? he really got a hold on her. Maybe. I don't know, right? But it doesn't, that's the part that makes no sense. Still, I still believe that she was just in the clutches of a monster. I really do think that. I could be absolutely wrong. It still just doesn't make sense, though. The timeline ain't timelining. And we're seeing that. Thanks to all you guys. Thanks to Sleuthy Goosey for throwing those pieces of timestamps for me. Because we remember all these things, but it's just kind of like, where was it all, right? Where did we find all this stuff? Because it just doesn't make any sense. Okay. Now, okay. There was something that was mentioned earlier on in the show, which we gotta approach here, because there's this rumor that's flying around that maybe she was with child. Now, I have yet to hear anything of that sort. They have not said anything about autopsy report. No news of that has come out. I err on the side of I'm going to have that seated on the side, because you never know, anything is possible. But at the same time, like, honestly, this is kind of the same thing that was going on with Audrey Cunningham, with taters, and all that. And I'm still sitting here saying, like, hey, we don't know everything yet. And I know we're quick to automatically think of something just so diabolical, so unthinkable, so tragic as something like him doing something like that, her having being with child kind of thing. And that's mind-blowing and crazy that people are actually saying that out loud. And I'm like, hey, everybody needs to chill. Everyone needs to chill on that. Like, wait, okay? Wait for a second before we automatically sit there and go, oh yeah, she was definitely with child. Oh, definitely. We don't know. We don't know. We don't even know what he has done yet. All we know, we know what the tragedy is, but we don't know why the tragedy happened. He could have just made a pass, said no. She could have said no, felt very disgusted and turned off. And he freaked out and he retaliated in a violent way, because he knew for a fact that once she gets back home from school, or not, she might just go straight to mom, go straight to school, tell the teachers, whatever. You see what I'm saying? She could be, you know what I mean? Anything is possible. Or he had a ongoing thing with her. You see what I'm saying? Of unthinkable possibilities, right? You know what I mean? Like, there's things I don't want to say out loud because I can't even think. You know what I mean? I don't want to say certain things because it's so unthinkable, right? But what if he made a pass? What if it was just one day, that one moment, he made a pass? She said no. He freaks out thinking, oh no, you about to expose everything. You're about to tell mama and all that. And he said, I gotta take care of this. I don't know. Or it could have been something that's been ongoing for a long time. And then maybe when she said, I want to live in the woods, right? When I turned 13, I want to live in the woods. Maybe she was sitting there in a way, basically having that moment of like, enough is enough. I can't take this anymore. And maybe she confronted him like, I'm telling my mom. Maybe that's what it is. And then he retaliated and she lost her life. We don't know, guys. Okay. I think that it was a bad situation nonetheless. I think that there have been grooming going on for a long time. You're telling me that this dude is still living under this roof and he didn't want to do anything until she turned 13? I don't think so. I think this mother lover was doing things way before that, and right under the mom's nose and right behind the mom's back. That's what I think. Or maybe the mom was involved, but I don't think involved in that way. I think that maybe she was just that brainwashed that she just thought what was going on in the house was okay. I don't know. It's frustrating. But again, that mom, I feel, is also a victim in this situation too. Now, if that victim turns into an assailant, I don't know. We will see what police say, right? But man, is it crazy? How this whole thing transpired. Okay. So again, this is why I say be careful. Like, this is why I need, man, I definitely want to watch the Who the F Did I Marry with you guys so bad. But it's just so long. But a few weeks ago, I put out a question to the members, basically saying, have you guys seen this TikTok, that kind of thing, this TikTok story? But Who the F Did I Marry is definitely in the realm of this true crime stuff, because you have to be careful on who you're laying in bed with. You got to be careful who you're with. Some of these people are diabolical out here. Some people are just disgusting. Okay. And again, that I couldn't agree more. Mona, it is a bit boring to a certain extent, because it's like, yo, can you just get to the meat and potatoes? Give me the bullet points here. You know what I mean? Because there's just so much. And you're sitting through 7-8 hours of her just talking. And don't get me wrong, other people were sitting. People found it very entertaining, and she made buckets of money off of those videos. But at the same time, damn, you know what I mean? So I'm like, I don't know if I want to watch all of that, maybe an abbreviated version of it, but I would love to watch it for you guys, because let's be real, it is long. It's just very long, but it's also a cautionary tale of be careful on who you're sharing your bed with. Real talk. It's crazy out here. Cynthia, thank you so much for the 2. Why not schedule the day off in advance? Exactly. I agree. Like I said, it's your daughter's birthday that weekend. Couldn't you have said, hey, can I get Sunday off? Like, suddenly she couldn't take that day off? Forget that. That's insane. I mean, unless she was really that strapped for cash, I mean, that's possible. Out here, it's we're all trying to make $1 out of 15 cents, but still, damn, it's your daughter. Lily, thank you so much for the 2. The affidavit has dates, first few sentences. Yes, it does. You're right. I don't know what you mean by that, but yes, it most definitely does. Let me pull that back up so we can see. Yeah, dates right off the bat. Yeah. All of this. Okay. But yeah, it says February 26th, she came in, or she called police reporting her daughter missing. Okay. According to the press conference. Okay. They showed up at the school to do the interview and ask her questions and talk about her missing daughter around 8 p.m. That seems a bit weird. That is a little weird. It's definitely weird. Okay. But I'm going to open up the phone lines just for a little bit of a speak on it segment. Okay. We've talked a good deal. This is going to be a short one. Okay. Just a fair heads up, fair warning, everybody. But please, few things. Okay. The number is in the chat. Please be respectful. Don't be an ass. Keep it short. Keep it sweet. Love to hear your thoughts on all of this. Okay. We got things to talk about. If you're an ass, I hang up on you. That's it. Plain and simple. But I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Do you think the mom is involved? Do you think the mom is involved? Or do you think she's an innocent that was just oblivious to everything? Give me a call. Let me know your thoughts. I'd love to hear what you think. Okay? But still, no matter what, I will say this too. Ooh. Hold on. Hey, you on the mic with the Pascal Show? What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hi, Pascal.
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing, Tyler? What's on your mind, man? Speak on it.
Well, let me just say, I think the mom is very I guess I'll just say sus. Or well, I don't know.
Okay.
I do tend to. Well, I saw like the clips that you were showing, and I'm not exactly. Well, I don't know. Maybe I just tend to be skeptical on everything, and maybe not all of it is warranted. But I don't know.
I understand, but I understand you having the erring on the side of caution, and erring on the side of just side eyeing. I mean, the amount of stories and the amount of cases that we've covered on this show and have covered as a family. I mean, it's easy for us to automatically think that everyone is out here to do something sinister, right? But
I don't want to be in that space where I can say like, oh, everybody's lying, or everybody's like thinking a certain way. Like not everyone's like a Carly Russell or whoever. That is out here.
Tyler, that's very, very true. Not everybody is a bad guy. You know what I mean? Not everybody's out here to do harm or to do bad. And that's the reason why I'm like, okay, it is really easy for us to let our minds run wild and come up with these crazy speculations and wear our tinfoil hats on every single story. Because I feel like sometimes some people are just trying to have it be more dramatic than what it is. Like it could literally just be as straight up and down as 6 o'clock. Like he did some bad things. She lost her life because of this. She went missing.
Due to that,
we found her.
Right.
Now it's a wrap. But I feel that there can be a world where, there can be a side of the world where they're going, well, no, I'm not done with this yet. There's something more to this.
Something else. And like I think the truth is usually like somewhere in the middle, between like two extremes.
Yeah.
And maybe that's boring. Maybe that's not salacious enough.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe that's where I'd want to err. I don't want to make sure that people are like more interested in the clicks and the whodunits. I want people to make sure that people are actually finding like the truth and not just like clicking on something because they think it might be something that it isn't.
Yeah, I mean,
and that's the problem with media today in general, in my opinion. People are so focused on making sure that getting like the clicks and getting the exposure is more important than getting the truth of the matter, and sometimes that's just more nuanced than the headline.
You are,
and I think that's also a problem with the consumption of the general public.
Yes,
people are just so focused on looking at what is like, what's the thing that makes the story the most interesting instead of what makes it true.
That's very true. I mean, I don't think that is so much on the side of people who are really just trying to get the story out there. But yes, there are content creators and media out there that will just put out something because they know it's going to get a lot of clicks or a lot of views or get the interesting the interest that they want for their platform rather than actually getting out the truth and being a voice for the voiceless, for sure.
And that's why I respect you.
Go ahead. What do you say?
I know and that's why I respect you.
Oh, well, I appreciate that, Tyler. I do. But of course, we'll see how this transpires. The investigation is still ongoing. But Tyler, thank you so much for calling in. I'll talk to you soon.
Talk to you soon.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Peace. Hey, you're on the mic with the Pascal Show. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Undead Ramen. Can you hear me okay?
Yes. Hi. What's on your mind? Speak on it.
Okay. I got so much here because...
Okay.
Okay. Everybody is saying the mom isn't a suspect. The police don't have to tell you if the mom is a suspect or not.
That's
and they
true.
have been deliberately vague. They've never specifically said she's not a suspect. I I was reported missing when I escaped from my abusers. And for 2 weeks, they let these people talk and talk and talk. They weren't looking for a missing person, though, and they were too stupid to realize they were dealing with a homicide captain. They were looking for my body. By what these people said, totally convinced that I was murdered. And they were just letting them talk, hoping to find a way to find my body.
Wow.
So they'll let you go on and hang yourself. Also, about the school calling, the local call system here in Florida, they generally call you after the school is like about to close or closed. That's just how it runs. And unless that child had an event like a field trip or some event, the teacher's not going to call the house directly.
Right. No,
it's a really outdated system, and it needs to be changed because everybody's using cell phones now.
Exactly.
They call cell phones at 10 a.m.
Yes, that's the problem. And that's a big problem that I have with the whole school system thing of reporting kids that are absent at school. It's everything's so old school, everything's so backdated that they're not advancing with technology, and there should be better ways of implementing those types of procedures from this point on. In fact, that school should use this as they better use this as a wake-up call and do whatever they can to make sure that that they change their procedures. But back to what you just said a second ago. First off, I appreciate your bravery and for running when you ran. But how did you find out? Like, how did they find out? Go ahead.
They were searching for me, and people were telling me, "Hey, these police are looking for you," but they weren't revealing where I was. Thank God.
You're right.
The person that took me in is like, "Hey, you got to call the cops. They're looking at me now." So I called one day and say, "Hey, I'm alive." The cop actually freaked out on me. He froze up. He's like, "Hang on a minute," and he put me on hold. And I knew he had my abuser on the other line.
Mm-hmm.
He got rid of him and came back. He's like, "Okay, don't hang up. I was scared you were going to hang up, but I was talking to him." And then it went on from there. So he told me everything. He told me everything.
Where did you end up running off to, if you mind me asking?
A random person that offered me to stay with them. And this was for somebody I didn't even know.
Gotcha.
They were like,
how old?
Yeah, they were on me, but yeah.
How old were you? How old were you?
I was shipped there when my mom was in hospice as a teenager. They cut me off from the wolf. They basically took me out of school. They forced me out of school because they started getting foster kids after I moved in with them.
Mm-hmm.
So they needed somebody to watch the foster kids while the mom. The whole story is really long and crazy. It's like something out of a horror movie.
No kidding.
So I was there for almost a decade. I got out and I was a young adult. Whatever. Now I have 2 disabled kids. They're autistic. So that stuff about she forgot her phone.
Yeah.
Yes, I don't care. ADHD, Down syndrome, I don't care. My kids are glued to their phones also, and they took them to school. And they don't have a line on it. It's just to play games or whatever, but they were so obsessed with their phones.
Yeah.
They wouldn't even go to the grocery store without them.
Wow.
So there's that.
No kidding.
And if they forgot.
And no kidding. No kidding. Because it like I said earlier, it's like another eye. It's like it's another appendage, for crying out loud. Like all of us are so ingrained to having that be a part of us, right? That phone be a part of us. Yeah. And a kid, especially if it's a new toy, like a new thing, like they just got that phone and it's a status symbol. You see what I'm saying? It represents a lot more than just them having a cool device in their hands. It's showing them like, oh, I'm an adult. I got my own phone, that kind of thing. You know what I mean? So for the fact that she would leave that behind is odd and sus as hell to me as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's also a physical sense. If it's not in your pocket, you sit down in the car, you're like, oh my God, I forgot
exactly.
my phone. Yeah.
One thing I do want to point out, and in fact, I wanted to bring this up earlier. The question I have is like, they say that he picked her up. Did he live with her? Did he live with the family? Did he live with those 2 or not? That's the one thing I'm trying to understand. They say that he picked her up and then took her to school. If he lived with her, so I'm just confused. I got questions. You know what I mean?
There's a lot contradicting, and we're going to get it all eventually.
Yeah.
But stuff like the police wouldn't look for her for 24. That's BS. I live in Florida. My both my kids are autistic. She's labeled as a runner, okay? Because I break down my house like a prison at the end of the night, and she would still manage to find a way out.
Wow.
I call the cops. This happened 2.5 times. The half is a whole other story. She wasn't really missing that time, but I would call the cops and I'd say, hey, listen, my daughter got out. This is where we live. This is where she's going. This is what I would give them everything, what she was wearing, what she looked like, everything.
Right,
and they sounded super quick, but they didn't tell me, well, call back in an hour and we'll look for her.
Yeah.
They didn't come to my house to get pictures or anything. They just took her description and took off.
No doubt.
You know, the 24 hours thing, I can't believe people are still putting out that myth.
But
they can't refuse for a missing child.
Interesting, because, well, you know, there's other places that will sit there and say, you know, like we would, like when we were covering the Imani situation in Houston, you know, a little outside of Houston, they said, oh, call in 24 hours, call back and make that report in 24 hours. They called 24 hours later. Then they said, oh, no, call in another 24 hours. That seems a little bit odd, don't you think? You know what I mean?
They should have gone to the or called somebody higher up, because that is actually legally you can't refuse to look for a missing child. I don't care where you are. They were
well. I was going to say, I unfortunately I got to wrap this conversation because I got a bunch of people calling in. But I do appreciate you sharing your story. That's very brave of you, and I'm glad you came out on the other side safe and are able to, you know, bring beautiful children into the world. So I'm happy that you have a happier ending than what happened with Maddy, for sure.
Okay, thank you very much for letting me on.
Of course.
Have a great day.
You too, sweetheart. All right. Bye. Hey, you on the mic? Hey, you on the mic with the Pascal Show. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, Pascal. This is Kimberly, and I'm calling from Homosassa, Florida.
Hi, Kimberly. Thank you so much for the call. What's on your mind? Speak on it.
Yeah. So first, I would just like to say how awesome your show is. Your content and the way you put it out is just amazing.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And then also, I just had a little insight, and this is speculation. Of course, everything is speculation at this point. But for the mother, I watched these videos over and over and over, trying to read into it. Mm-hmm. And I get the feeling that it's a possibility in the back of her head she knew what was going on without being told.
Yeah.
Perhaps. However, at the same time, I think there was some fear about her with this man, where she was afraid to speak out, even if it was because of her daughter or for her daughter. Mm-hmm. She was afraid to speak out because of what he may have done to her. I mean, we don't know we know that they've been together for years, but we don't know really the inside of what their relationship was really like. So I feel her fear, and maybe it's fear that if she did in the back of her mind kind of know what was going on a little bit, that now she's feeling a little guilty and she doesn't know how to get it out there.
Yeah.
And I really feel for the mom. I mean, I know she probably made some mistakes, but who hasn't made mistakes, you know?
Yeah.
Who hasn't? And I've been in abusive relationships before, and I know how fearful it is. And I know how fearful it is to try and leave, especially when everything is in their name. And the bank, I work, and my work money went into a bank in his name. And I mean, everything was under him. So when I left with nothing, and my 2 kids and nothing else, except for a few clothes, in order to get out of there.
Yeah.
So I know how hard that can be. And I just see that, I see a little bit of fear in her. But again, I don't know on which side it is. I don't know if it's the fear of him, you know, or is it the fear now it's in the back of her mind, she knew what was going on, and now she's fearful of what can happen to her. And that's just where I stand right now.
You know what? That is a good theory. You know what I mean? It's a good point. Because I'm sure throughout her relationship, I'm sure she saw things that were red flags that maybe she ignored because of how well he was finessing her, or how much maybe he implemented fear right? Or threats into their relationship earlier on. And she knew that, hey, if I retaliate, if I say anything wrong, if I mutter the wrong syllable at the wrong time within this thing, I could be in a world of trouble, right? So, you know, there's certain levels of I got to use, abuse. Okay. There's certain levels of, you know, that not only just physical, there's also psychological, etc., that he could have been implementing way ahead of this.
I would have rather 1,000 times be hit before I was mentally.
Yeah. No, and I understand that, and I feel like there's a lot of people that could echo, you know, and back what you're saying right now. It's a scary thing, and again, I keep saying never underestimate the power of denial, and denial is one hell of a drug. Okay, especially if you're drunk off of it, if you're getting high off of it. You know, you don't want to rip the veil off of your eyes because you don't want to see the real reality of the person that you're standing in front of or you're standing next to. And that could very well be the situation. That's why I was calling it dickmatized. I mean, she could literally be like, he is everything I need and more, and he's holding it down. And it's hard to find a good man out here that's willing to, be a dad to a 13-year-old girl, so on and so forth. It's crazy out here in these streets, right? It's hard to find a partner, period. But imagine, that situation and him knowing that he has that kind of power over her. That's a possibility. It's crazy. Like I said,
that was a definite intimidation move or tactic that he used. For sitting behind her. Yes, definitely. And I mean, I don't want to hold you up because I know that other people want to call in, but I just wanted to voice my opinion there. I thank you so much for all you do. I'm a new sub. But I'm hooked on you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
No worries.
We'll have more conversations in the future. Thank you so much for calling in. All right.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Oh, man. I think there was somebody who was trying to call in, but I'll leave it open just for a little bit longer. But again, I really do appreciate you guys, calling in, putting in your 2 cents. It really does mean a lot. Hey, you're on the mic with the Pascal Show. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Pascal, it's infamous truth teller. How are you?
Hello. What's good?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. What's on your mind? Speak on it.
Well, I'm thinking, I have a couple thoughts, but I won't keep you long.
Sure.
But I'm thinking, she could have had mental health. So first of all, have you seen that documentary, Hiding in Plain Sight?
Yes.
That group, basically he groomed the dad, the mom, and predators are predators. They will prey on to get to what they want. They're gonna, what I mean? They're gonna coerce. So I think that too. And then she could have had some if there's mental health or she's taking antidepressants, some of those medications are can make you numb to where you don't show emotion.
Right.
You know what I mean? It just depends on that. And then also, with her phone, forgetting her phone, maybe when she said she wanted to live in the woods, maybe she was thinking maybe she decided not to go, but she might have said, if I leave my phone, they can't locate me because there'd be a location on there, to be able to find out where she's at. If that was her plan, and maybe she thought, maybe I'll just act like I forgot it. If maybe she was trying to get away, and then if she saw her at night. Maybe the little girl was, she was going in her room to be safe, to stay away from him. When mom would come home, she would just disengage and just try to be as far away from him if he had done, not good things to her prior to. So, she might have been, not disconnected. And then just immediately want to go to her room so she feels like she's safe, to keep herself safe.
Yeah. I do think that there could have, especially with that information about her just not using her phone, not going to her computer, not doing anything, just going straight to bed. I mean, there is a strong possibility that maybe something did happen. Like he he made a pass, or there was some sort of altercation of maybe a disagreement or a conversation between the two. And then, of course, maybe that's, that night or the following morning, that's when he made the decision to make an unthinkable move, which was take her life. Because it just seems odd that she would be super hype about the birthday party, and then as soon as it's over, she sees her mom, and then she just goes straight to getting ready for bed and going to bed. It just seems a bit
I was
odd.
thinking too, when she called, or whenever she called and met him at the school, maybe he didn't. I don't know for sure, but I'm not for sure. Like if he moved her body, I think they said that he might have moved her body, but he might have said, well, just wait a couple hours and see if she went to a friend's house. She might come home, like just to coerce her. And maybe that's why she met him at the school. So he could go and do whatever the monster was going to do to try to not to get caught.
Yeah. I mean, that's a good possibility. They say that the investigation is still ongoing. I'm hoping that we find out some more information. I am curious about the text message. I keep thinking that maybe that text message was made to maybe throw off the scent on his path. Maybe he wrote that to throw police and maybe even his partner, the mom, off his path. Maybe I don't know. It just seems a bit odd. Like I said, there's so many inconsistencies.
He could have easily groomed her to get to Madeline.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That was his target.
That's what I think.
It's sad to say, but I think people should stop with they did that with Audrey too, saying that she was pregnant, and you know what I mean. And I think that we need to be more mindful of that, because we got to think if that was our child or somebody of our family, would we want people just like randomly spreading, things that we don't know if it's factual. I think that we need to be more mindful.
I couldn't agree
more.
Well, Infamous, thank you so much for calling in. I'll be talking to you soon. Okay.
Yeah.
Have a good one.
Okay. Take care, Pascal.
And that is the end of the Speak On It segment. I appreciate everybody calling in. It really does mean a lot. But it is over. Okay. I just wanted to take that one last phone call real quick. But like I said, it was going to be a quick one. I appreciate everybody's calling in and putting in their 2 cents. It really does mean a lot. And again, we don't know everything right now. Obviously, there's a lot of questions. There's, like I said, more questions spark because of the inconsistencies in this timeline. Again, the timeline ain't timelining. And it's frustrating. And this is where it gets very dangerous, because it's very easy for all of us to sit here, speculate, and think that there's all kinds of bad that's going on. Maybe there's nothing going on here. But then again, maybe something really is going on behind those closed doors that involve the mother. She may be innocent. She may be guilty. We don't know, right? But I think as soon as police finish their investigation, as soon as we find out about an autopsy report, I mean, there's still so much more to this case that hasn't been unearthed yet. And of course, we're all here for it as soon as that stuff does come out. Okay. But I appreciate all y'all for being here. It really does mean a lot. Okay. Thank you so much for being here and being a part of the conversation. This was a good one. I had a good time with you guys. Okay. Not like I don't have a good time with you guys. I'm just saying it was a good conversation. I appreciate the phone calls. I'm trying to bring those back more often, more Speak On It into the show. Okay. But this is definitely a conversation and a Speak On It that I definitely wanted to hear from your thoughts on, you, the fam. Okay. But anyway, it is time to get going. Really appreciate you guys for being here. Hit that like button down below. Okay. Let's get it to 1K. 1K. Just hit that like button down below before you leave. Let's get it to 1K. Just give me 1K. All right. Just give me that 1K real quick. We're almost there. Okay. So if you're watching on Facebook, please be sure to hit that reaction button down below the video if you appreciate the conversation. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Crush it, please and thank you. All right. Hit that follow button if you're watching on Facebook. Subscribe. Follow me on all my social medias, The Pascal Show, one word. TikTok, IG, even on X or Twitter. Okay. Show some love. Go over there. Be a part of the conversation. That would really mean the world to me. Also, please go over to my secondary channel, The Pascal Show Clips. Go subscribe over there. The Pascal Show Clips. Subscribe to my secondary channel. I'm going to be putting out more clips and other videos, etc. on that channel. In fact, the call-in segment of this show will be on there, cut out and on there as well, because I know some of you guys just want to hear other people's opinions about what's going on in the world. So that will definitely be on the secondary channel a little bit later on today. Make sure that notification bell is set to all so you know whenever I go live, whenever I upload, because it's going to be random. All right. And do that if you're subscribed to the secondary channel, make sure that notification bell is rang over there as well. Okay, guys, I'm going to put the thank you, Debbie. I'm going to put the secondary channel's website, or the link to my secondary channel. It is linked to the top of the chat. If you're watching on YouTube, please go over there, secondary channel, crush that subscribe button, be a part of the conversation. Okay. And don't forget to check out pascalmerch.com. Okay. My clothing line. Go check it out. I'm sure there's going to be something in there that you'll really, really enjoy and like. Okay. So anyway, guys, it is time to get going. Much love to all you guys, even though all of those that are across the pond right now. Hello, Stuart. You know, appreciate you. Thank you so much for the love, and keep sharing the love. I'll be talking to you guys soon. Have a great rest of your afternoon. We got more conversations, more stuff to come up, so be on the lookout for it. We'll be talking a little bit later on this afternoon, but I got to get going. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. And I'll see you guys very, very soon. This is the Pascal Show. Bye.